Shalom, first and foremost, like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakal Kadash, double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, who are teaching us truth and sincerity, and a shout out to Yakim that's out there on four corners of the earth proclaiming this truth. Bracha the Yahweh, Bracha the Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakal Kadash, Bracha Dam. I wanted to do a video on this, and I seen another brother from Dallas had already done a video on this, but just kind of want to recap a bit, though. The fact that these images of Caesar Borgia are being cast down, they don't have a suspect on as to who caused the fire, but I can guarantee you that the Most High is behind this, because the fact that we're coming to realization on what Yahweh Shai actually looks like, and what the angels look like, and what, the people of Yashala look like. This is tearing down strongholds, and the greatest stranglehold of all has been the Roman Catholic Church, a.k.a. the second beast. Because that's how he's been able to deceive us, is via, religion, because, first of all, we didn't know we was Israelites when we were brought into this place. We pretty much, that's been, taken from us. So, the greatest casting crown has been the Roman Catholic Church. It had its way. Anyhow, the fact that this is all crumbling down to the ground is a sign that the Most High is about to ready to return. I can't wait for the fucking statue of Caesar Borgia in Rio de Janeiro to be destroyed as well. Anyhow, I'm just going to read a bit. Devastation of the Notre Dame interior captured in heartbreaking photos. Well, it's not heartbreaking to us. We're glad to see this happen. Photos from the iconic Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris have emerged, showcasing the major damage the devastating blaze inflicted on the historic landmark. The cathedral was ravaged by a major fire late on Monday, and the damage on the 13th century building to be extensive. See, this is when the Edomites rose back to power, a.k.a. the beast whose deadly wound was healed. Most of the roof, as well as the cathedral's spire, were consumed by the blaze, which didn't spare the interior of the structure either. So, this is kind of it right there, and then you got that was the main photo there. The central nave of the Notre Dame Cathedral before and after the devastating blaze. Photos from the scene show that the sections of Notre Dame's vaulted ceiling collapsed, and the fallen stones and the parts of the burnt-out roof heavily damaged the inside of it. The floor on the cathedral is littered with debris, and its pews are lying around in disarray. The iconic stained glass, as well as the altar part of the cathedral, however, have seemingly survived the blaze. Which, the funny thing about that, though, is that this idolatry, this high place of idol worship, is being brought to a low. We now know what Yahweh Shai looks like, and what the angels look like, and what the people of Yashala look like. So, yeah, man, these places being burned down is just a sign, though, that we're near the end. And that's what the other brother went into in Dallas. So I'm not going to even try to take from that, but just kind of build upon that. The fact that we're in the end times, and that these nations are taking a proverb, a.k.a. the nations are very angry with Babylon. The general view shows debris inside the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris on April 16, a devastating fire. After the devastating fire, the exact extent of damage is not to be determined, but the restoration of the building is already believed to be very costly and time-consuming. It is even possible to rebuild the 13th century building. And look at this, Assassin's Creed. You know how they show you stuff in video games, and Assassin's Creed definitely shows you a lot of cookies of things. Read more. Assassin's Creed Unity and art historian laser scans may prove critical to Notre Dame restoration. So, anyhow, I just kind of exciting, seeing all this shit getting destroyed. So anyhow, French President Emmanuel Macron vowed to rebuild Notre Dame Cathedral within 5 years. Some experts estimated that it could take up to a decade to restore it, though. So I did manage to find some video, some drone footage on this, what you would call devastation. But not devastating to us, just devastating to the wicked, you know, that pretty much worship this shit, you know. It looks a lot like what you would see in Mount Seir, Petra, you know, and, you know, we know this has been our captivity, you know. Part of our captivity is not knowing who we were, but, you know, being pretty much forced into this place of idolatry. Because that's who Caesar Borgia is, you know. They took down our images and put theirs up, iconoclasm. And this is just one of the many places. But the fact that it's now being brought to a low just proves that we're in the end times. And that's a good thing, so. And it looks like I do have video on the fire itself as well. I think this is, yeah, this is from RT France. So, yeah, let it burn, baby, burn. You know, this is a great moment, you know. See this place of idolatry being destroyed right before the Edomites. And the rest of the wicked that forced us into this idolatry. But most of all, though, the reason why the Most High had brought this judgment is because 2/3 of our people, man, they wanted to be like the other nations, so that's why we were brought into these other nations. That's why we have been scattered. And here's inside the building itself afterward. Yeah, this is great. Not sure if I played this clip or not, but Slovak, if I did, I'm just trying to find all of them. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's the one I wanted to see right there. This is beautiful, man, and all we have to do is just sit back. Most High is bringing this judgment, you know. We know that him casting this place down is just more proof that we are one step closer. So I'm just going to read out of Romans chapter 13, since Christians love this book, but we're going to read that as the real Israelites, you know, you know, coming as one. I'm going to start in verse 7. Romans chapter 13. Render therefore to all their dues, tribute to whom tribute is due, custom to whom custom, fear to whom fear, honor to whom honor. Owe no man anything but to love one another. For he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law. That is loving your brothers, man, as in those that are in this truth. Anybody outside of that, no, this is not applicable. You know, we're not to love the heathen. We're not to love the wicked at all. We're to love our brothers, those of us that are in this truth. For this thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not covet. And if it be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. That is your Hebrew Israelite neighbor, you know, those that are in this truth. Love worketh no love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Therefore love is the fulfilling of the law. And that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. The fact that we know that we're the real Israelites and that we're going out there and proclaiming our heritage, and the fact that we're now seeing Rome burn down is a good thing. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light, which is what we're doing. Putting on this armor of truth and light in this dark, evil world. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying. But put ye on thy power, Yahushua HaMashiach, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. You know, pretty much, you don't envy what somebody else has, you know. If someone else has more than you do, that's probably because they worked very hard to get it, you know, but you're not to envy them for that. You know, the things that you ought to do is, you know, most of all, love your neighbors yourself. You know, that is pretty much, man, if you know somebody's a fellow Israelite who's in this truth, you love them as you do yourself. For that's the greatest commandment out of all of these. And the fact that our time is near than when we first believed, that's why we're starting to see Rome fall all over again. And it's a great time to be alive. For that, I want to say, Bracha Yahweh, Bracha Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakakadash, Bracha Tam. Death to America, and death to Rome, death to you 2/3.